the player power rankings, charting the best players on earth position by position in top 10 form, it reaches the Tighthead Prop, one of the most consequential positions on a rugby field because it is the absolute cornerstone of the scrum, which gives rugby its identity, makes it a game for all shapes and sizes, and a rock-solid set piece, so important as an attacking weapon as well. So these guys are the absolute beasts of our sport, and it's a brilliant top 10, which last time looked like this. So we're going back 9 months, pretty much. Now, please let me know your thoughts. It will be a miracle if we agree on the top 10. There has been some change from this one, and I think it's a position that is in flux a little bit because the age profile of a lot of these guys, they are getting into the advanced years. Now, part of that is down to the position itself. I think you probably start hitting your peak in your early 30s as a tighthead prop. Quite a lot of these guys are past that, and their career, will they make it to a Rugby World Cup in 2027? That remains to be seen. So there's going to be some turnover in this position in the years ahead. It's going to be interesting to watch. As I say, let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the chat down below. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. That name at the top, Frans Malherbe. He has been that dominant in that position for so long that I kept him in the number 1 spot, despite the fact he had what was clearly a very serious injury. 9 months on, still hasn't played. Still no news on when or if he will return. Let's hope that he does. But Frans Malherbe, I have had to just park to the side for the player power rankings on this occasion. Hopefully that changes in the future, but we will see. That means there will be a new number 1. Let's go. Top 10. 10 down to 1. At number 10, Finlay Bealham. What a brilliant year he's had. With the injury to Tadhg Furlong, he stepped up, did a fantastic job for New Zealand. 4 starts in the Six Nations, including, if you go back a year, he played 78 minutes of the game against the All Blacks. He was a British and Irish Lions tourist. Didn't get into the test match squad, but that just capped off what was a pretty amazing year for Finlay Bealham, who is just a good bloke as well. 34 years young. How much gas has he got left in the tank? Number 9, a man who was in the Lions squad with him and got the spot on the bench ahead of Finlay Bealham, Will Stewart, one of the most improved players in world rugby. And that's after England have gone through the... I've done these player power rankings before, and England don't have any props recognised. Now they have Will Stewart in the top 10. And just a reminder, by the way I calculate these positions isn't based on who played best in the games that we've just watched. It's a kind of calculation between recent form, the games we've most recently seen, and through 2025, but also years gone by as well. So trying to sort of aggregate those two things and throw in a little bit of opinion as well. So based on that, Will Stewart is into the top 10. I think he's on his way up this top 10 if his trajectory continues. I'll tell you, someone who is up 1 spot by virtue of the fact that Frans Malherbe and other players are dropping out, and he's there by the skin of his teeth, I'm going to be honest, Taniela Tupou. Now, when he does special things, he is like no other player. He can do things that no one else can. But then he'll have a brain fart, or he'll just fade in and out of games, blow hot and cold. He had 5 starts in the Rugby Championship, and when he was good, he was really, really good. And that first game against South Africa, he managed to hold the scrum steady and give enough of a platform that Australia, well, after weathering the first 20 minutes, they started to do some things. And that's what he's capable of. I do think the move to France is going to really help Taniela Tupou. He's gone to Racing 92, and you do not get a week off in France. It's a long grind, and you have to show up every single week because it's where many of the best props in the world do their business week to week. So maybe that will help him get more consistent. If so, he could be moving up the list as well. Ben Tamifuna, 34 years of age. And do you know what I love about Big Ben is he's still playing in the Pacific Nations Championship. He's got a big money contract in France, and you wouldn't begrudge him with the long top 14 season, and Bordeaux won the Champions Cup as well. You wouldn't begrudge him saying, well, I'm going to have to pay out of my own pocket, so I'm not going to play international rugby. But he still did. He turned up, showed up, missed games for Bordeaux, turned out for his beloved Tonga, and I love that about him. And he, again, just like Ben Tamifuna does in the Pacific Nations Championship, he scored another try to add to his very many tries. So Big Ben at number 7, and another guy in his mid-30s. This is the 3rd player out of 5 so far that are 34 or older. Awini Atonio, 35. He initially retired after the Rugby World Cup, came out of retirement, and good job for France as well, because they need to transition to whoever's going to take up this jersey. They've got a few guys they've tried that I'm not sure are the finished article. They've got guys like Tavita Tatafu, who looks like he could be the real deal, but has had injuries. Owini Atonio stepped in and did a really solid job for France through the Six Nations, and he looks set to continue again, probably through this November Test series. We'll see how he gets on there. He could be dropping down the list, but he's managed to stick there around mid-table. Wilco Louw, the highest jump of any player. He's gone from outside the top 10 to number 5. Again, he may well be the best scrummaging tight head prop in the world. No question there. But this is a calculation on historic form as well as recent form. If it was just on recent form, he'd be higher. But what I don't want to happen is someone has a really good July Test series or Rugby Championship or Six Nations, and suddenly they're right at the top, and then they dip out of the top 10 completely because they get an injury or don't play very well. So that's why. So Wilco Louw, Quadzilla, 5 appearances and 1 start in the rugby off the bench and 1 start in the Rugby Championship. He played 2 tests last year against England and Wales, I think it was. He started 2 games. He's only got 24 caps to his name. At the age of 31, he's a bit of a young pup compared to Owini Atonio, Ben Tamafuna, Finlay Bealham. I think he's just getting started. Into the top 5 then. Number 4, Tadhg Furlong, who has had some injuries but came back in that final round of the Six Nations Championship and then got 3 more starts for the British and Irish Lion, meaning, is it a record he's got? Was it 10 straight starts? 10 or 11, I can't remember which, straight starts for the British and Irish Lions in Test matches, which is astounding. And, I mean, again, you can judge it now, can't you? That win against the British and Irish Lions suddenly looks quite a good one because Australia are a legit team. And the Lions went and beat them, and Tadhg Furlong was the cornerstone of that pack once again. But he misses out just to Xander Fagerson, who I think would have been starting for the British and Irish Lions had he been fit. One of the people I feel most sorry for that he wasn't able to go on that tour, because he totally deserved to. 29 years of age. Hopefully for Xander Fagerson, he will have another opportunity in 3.5 years' time. 76 caps to his name. If he makes it there, he'll be well into 3 figures on his cap front for Scotland there. And in some of the games in the Six Nations, even when Scotland don't play well, he plays brilliantly. And he played a full 80 minutes against France. He can go deep into games. I've got a lot of time for Xander Fagerson. He's number 3. Now we've got 2 left. Who is it going to be? Well, let me tell you some of the players who aren't going to be in the top 10. Tavita Tatafu, as I've already mentioned. Dorian Aldegheri from France. Joe Hayes from England. Klabakanye and Fushia of South Africa. Vinnie Koch has dropped out of the top 10. Fletcher Newell might be one of the hardest done by. I really considered him getting into the top 10 because he has covered for this guy, Tyrel Lomax, while he's been injured and done really well. And actually, Fletcher Newell, do you know what? He's got a lot of time to be right up this list because he's only 25. And when you look at the ages of the tight head props, no one below the age of 29 in this top 10, and Fletcher Newell is 25. So he'll be back. As it is, he's backing up Tyrel Lomax, who every time he is fit and available, he starts and plays big chunks of games because he is a difference maker for the ABs, and they have missed him when he's not been available. He had 3 appearances in the Rugby Championship, played the whole of last November series, and looks like he's going to be out, isn't he, for the trip north this year, which is a massive shame for New Zealand. That may well affect his number 2 spot the next time I do this player power rankings. We will see. But at number 1, Thomas du Toit, a new name at the top. TDT, the tank. He's 30 years of age, so again, a bit like Wilco Louw, a bit like Xander Fagerson and Will Stewart, probably just getting started at international level. At club level, I've said this before, I don't just think he's one of the best he's not just the best prop in the Premiership. I think he's the best rugby player in the Premiership, even ahead of Finn Russell and some of the other superstars in the Prem. I think Thomas du Toit is the first name I would pick if I were able to draft a player from any Premiership team. He's that good. And he's played international rugby in the last year at Tighthead Prop. 5 straight starts in the Rugby Championship at Tighthead for South Africa. He started Loosehead Prop in July. He can do it on both sides at a very, very high level. And I do think he's just getting started, and he's elevated himself to the top of my top 10. That is what the 10 looks like. It was really difficult to pick, like I say, because we've had players dropping out because they haven't played. We've had players that are just on the fringes, looking like they could be big stars soon. Well, Fletcher Newell as well. He's been in the top 10 before, but he's out. Tavita Tatafu, that young lad for Argentina as well, who just made his debut against South Africa, Repetti. He looks one to watch as well. But I'm pretty happy with that top 10. Let me know what you reckon. It'd be a miracle if we agreed. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat, and I will see you on the next one when we will be into some more of the big beasts, the Enforcer, the Lock next up. Bring it on.